Hey guys, welcome. It's Mary. Thanks for stopping by. So I've got, hopefully it won't be too long of a video for you. I have one of the, well, it's not the newest, but Stencil Art from Altenew Painted Geraniums. And I think it's one of the last ones that I got in my subscription. And I haven't showed it to you because they started with just the stencil art stencils, obviously. And then like halfway through my subscription, they came out with add-on dies. Or if you didn't have a subscription, you could buy the stencil and the add-on die together. So I've slowly been picking up the add-on dies to the ones that I do have. And I just got the die for this one in the other day. And so I've been waiting for it so that I could show you guys. I stopped the subscription because without the die, you don't have as much flexibility with it. There's no stamp, so you're stenciling without a die. It's there, and I do not fussy cut. So, but unfortunately, the dies, because they're metal, are more than the stencil to buy. So I decided that I would just not subscribe, and when one of them spoke to me, then I would buy the bundle of the die and the stencil together. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And this one is just so pretty, but it is huge. It is 8 inches. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it is big. So we're using a full sheet of paper, and we're using the Sizzix stencil and stamp platform because it is so big. So, all right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the top off because we're not stamping, we're just stenciling, and we don't need. So I'm going to put that to the side. Take the cover off because that's what keeps this part sticky. And when this loses its stickiness, it's paper and you have extra ones, and so you just replace it. So we'll put that out of the way too. We'll get our sheet of paper down. And because we've now covered everything, we're going to have to tape the stencil down. And like with all of their stencils, there's instructions on how to color. And we are going to use the pinks, but I've changed the greens up. Excuse me. And it shows you the instructions on like rotating and all that. So, all right, so I'm going to put this over here. This is what we're going to, it's going to look like with those colors. And so the colors that we're using are from the same family, and they're Rose Quartz, Puffy Heart, Purple Wine, and Cosmic Berry. And then for the greens, we're using Aloe Vera, Matcha Tea, and Swamp Green. All right, so all of their stencils are numbered and etched. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It's got a 1 and an A1 here. And there are lots and lots in here. 6. All right. So I'm thinking actually we could cut this down. We don't need a whole size because we can go in this direction here. So let me cut this. And see what side is going to be better. That'll make it a little bit easier since it's so big. All right, so it will fit here. All right, it'll fit here perfectly. So now let's see if we can get it so that you can see it all at one time. Yeah, all right. All right, so this one is straightforward, this number 1. All right, so let me get some tape here. I'm not using the stamp wheel because it's only 7 inches. I could use the large MISTI if I wanted to, but I think this is going to be just fine. So that's the only problem with the stamp wheel, as much as I like it. If you're doing something bigger than like 7, 7.5, it just doesn't happen. All right, and so this is all just one layer of the rose quartz. And this is a light you always want to go in both directions. I'm not worried about this border, and I don't have to worry about it now because we are going to cut this out. If I didn't have the die, then I would have to mask off so that we didn't get color on the side. That's another plus of having the die. All right, so that is our first layer. Easy peasy. I'm going to use the same brush because we're using the same family. And we're going to go from light to dark. So now we're going to use the puffy heart. And we're going to take this stencil off. I am going to take a pencil because if I had lined this up with the edge down here or up here, it would have been easier to line up the stencils, but I did not. So since we're cutting, we're just gonna pencil the corners in here. So see, all is never lost. Every stencil is the same size. All right. All right, so that's number 1. And then we'll go in with number 2. And we're going to line those up. And then we have the extra guidance of the lines we just put on. And then we'll tape that down. Now we're going in with, what did I say? The puffy heart. This is a lot darker, so I'm still using a light hand. See how bright this one is compared. You've got baseball this weekend, final tournament of the fall season. I'm anticipating freezing because it's really definitely, once the sun goes down, that is it. All right, let's clean this one off because it is so dark. Only to get darker. All right, then our next color we're going to use is the purple wine. All right, so this one is in 2 different, it's etched. So we're going to do this part, and then we're going to rotate it, it says. So this is going up here. So see, now we're way off of the, okay. So I am going to mask off here, right here, so that we don't get color where we don't want it. All right, so purple wine is next. And we're just getting deeper and deeper as we go along. All right, we're going to clean off. Even though we're using the same color, I don't need it to get all over my fingers because you know the reds and the pinks, you know how they are. All right, so let's move this. And then it says to rotate this stencil 180 degrees clockwise for this layer. Which means we should be here. And there, I don't know if you can see it, but there is etching on the stencil to help you layer everything up. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. All right. And we're using the same color. So I'm gonna no, we're not using the same color. We're using the next color. That makes more sense to add, because this is the last of our pinks. So we're using the Cosmic Berry. All right, now we got it. Clever how they did that. Just turning it over. All right, so we are done with our pinks. And we are definitely wiping this down. Because that's a stainer, that's for sure. All right. All right, so then our first, let me close this up. Our first layer, we're gonna use aloe vera. It says to align this little thing up to the stem, but I don't have any stems yet, so let's see if we're putting we'll align this here. All right, hold that thought. We're gonna lose part of our stem down here the way that all right, I'm trying to get all this lined up. All right. these flowers up here. Sometimes you gotta play with it a little bit. All right, I think that's good. That's good. All right. All right. Let's get the, oh, we're caught. Let me clean this brush. Make sure there isn't anything that shouldn't be on there. All right, so we're doing the, I'm going to use the little brush. Those are going to get darker as we go, so hopefully it covers the pink that it had us put down. We shall see. All right. Now this is our lightest green, so I'm just going in. With a, not a heavy hand, but not a soft one either. Oh, we got some up here. All right, I think we got that. Aloe vera. Matcha tea is next. Those are pretty colors together. Oh, and you can see the green. All right, now we're doing the same thing. We're gonna just line up these flowers that are etched. And we can also line up the stems. That'll help us. Let's see if we got this lined up. All right, I've got these flowers lined up. I got this lined up here. All right, I think it looks good. Whoops. All right, so now we're going in with the matcha tea. And I'm going to do the same thing, getting the little brush into these little areas. And I think hold on. Did this? That didn't poke out, so. All right. All right, I'm gonna need to put this over here so we don't get green on our flower right there. All right. All right, now we're gonna do the whole thing in the matcha tea. This is giving our little darker definition. All right. And then our last one will be our swamp green. And that. We're gonna line. There we go. Well, that came together nicely. Perfect. All right, so we're using our darkest swamp green. All right. Evidently, we should have started this way up here and then worked our way down. And we have this rogue leaf here. And I'm looking to see, it said, align this leaf to the stem. I'm thinking it must have been down there. Let me get this one. Oh, okay, hold on. hold on. It goes right where that little indent is, right there. See, now, isn't it a good thing that we have the die? All right, so this was the first aloe vera. I should have paid more attention. The stencil actually has a tiny little line with an arrow. It says I'm supposed to put it down here. All right. All right. Well, that makes more sense. All right, so what have we learned? We've learned that we should have started up here. Because we haven't lost a lot, but we did lose like this much of the stem. And I don't think there's any way of actually telling in the directions that that should have been that way. So I guess the best thing in that case to have done was to start with the full one, which is the last one, and then placed it here and see how we would have been fine. So sometimes going in order of the number does not work. So especially with these long ones. So now we know this is not the way to do it. But you know, I don't think it's going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. So let's put this back on here. And I have this marked for the top, so I know that this is the side that goes down. And then we're going to put this back on here. And get this out of the way. And then we're going to get the die, and then we're going to cut this. All right. It's about time, I think, to... well, let's cut this off. See, now you know, if you have this, not to make the same mistake. All right. Let's get the die out and we'll get this cut. It is very pretty, I think. I think if we'd started with the green too, that it would have, we wouldn't have put the pink in the center of the flower that they had us do. And I think it would have been better for the green part. Not that it's not bad. All right. I gotta get up for this one. This platform underneath the mat is magnetic, so it is holding it. Sometimes hard. This die is so thin. Well, I don't think that looks bad. Moment of truth, we'll see. All right, we'll give it a go. Yeah, that was way off down here. Well, Well, it looks like I am going to have to fussy cut a little bit. It's not too bad, but it could be better, even though it looked lined up. Even though it looked lined up, it's a little off down on the bottom. Yet it didn't cut the top off, but it needed to be up just a smidge so that the white was up here along with that. So I will fussy cut the here and down here. So, but I'm not going to bore you with the fussy cutting because you know it's not my favorite thing to do, and it does take me a while. So, but I just think this one's so pretty. I mean, it does have like almost a dreamy watercolor type look to it. So, all right. So in the picture at the end of the video, you'll see the fussy cut, so that you know that I actually did it, even though I hate fussy cutting. So even with my new scissors, I mean, it does make it better, but oof. So all right, so that's it. Painted Geraniums, Stencil Art. So all right, so let me know in comments what you think. Let me know if you got this one, and if you did, if you've used it, and hopefully I've showed you what not to do, so that yours will turn out perfect first time. So, all right, that's it. So thanks for stopping by. If you have not subscribed yet, you can hit that subscribe button, and then the bell. If you hit that, it'll send you notification when there's a new video to watch. The thumbs up is the like button. It lets YouTube know that you enjoyed the video and they will promote it more, which is important to little YouTube channels. Which, oh my gosh, thank you guys, because we are at a little over 900 subscribers. So we are getting to that magic 1,000 number, and I'm so happy and thankful to all of you who have subscribed. I appreciate it. It means a lot. So, all right. So that's it. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.